Welcome back. Good to have you with us. Breakfast today with Sally Nugent and John Kane.
Now, the leader of the Liberal Democrats, Sir Ed Davey, will set out his party's plans to halve energy bills by 2035 later on.
Yeah, in a major speech on the economy, he's going to say that the UK has to break the link between gas prices and electricity costs so that people get the benefits of cheap, cleaner power. He joins us live now. Let's talk to him about this. Good morning to you, Sir Ed. You can halve our energy bills. How?
Well, we have to halve our energy bills. People are paying far too much. It's hitting families and pensioners out there. It's a big reason behind the cost of living crisis, and it's holding back our economy. It's hitting our businesses. And we've put forward today things that you can do now over the next few years in this Parliament to cut bills. We reckon we can get them down by £700 this Parliament, and over the next 10 years, because we've got to cut these energy bills, we think we can do it by at least half, by cutting the average bill by nearly £900 over that 10-year period. So these are big numbers. We put forward quite a technical package, but it will work to get these bills down.
Yeah, it is technical. I've just been looking through it. It's all about the kind of contract, isn't it? And the way that prices of gas and electricity and cleaner power are set. Surely, if it could be done, if you could cut everybody's energy bills by half by changing the contract, somebody else, another government would have done it before now, wouldn't they, if it's that easy?
Well, changing the contracts is only part of it. It's something we could do now. What people need to understand in the technical side is that your energy bills are higher because of gas prices. Gas obviously is what many people use to heat their homes. That's gone up because of Vladimir Putin's appalling invasion of Ukraine. But gas also fixes the electricity price because it's the most expensive. It comes on the system the last, and it means that the cheap form of renewable power doesn't go through to people's bills. And unless we deal with that in a whole set of ways, we're not going to see cheaper bills. So I'm a practical person. I've put forward some ideas today. One of the ideas is to get rid of the old way of subsidised renewables, which led to higher prices, and incentivise people to go to the new way of supporting renewables, which is contracts for difference, which Liberal Democrats brought in. It's been very effective. It's increased investment, but it's also got prices down for consumers. It's been copied around the world. That proposal has been looked at by the UK Energy Research Centre, who came up with this idea. They reckon the average household could save at least £200 a year if we did that. But we need to do more. Some things the government are doing okay, by the way. I think we do need to, by getting gas off the system and reducing the high price of gas, we need to expand renewables. They're doing some of that. I'm not sure they're always doing it in the best way, but we absolutely need to build out that renewable power, because solar power and wind power is cheaper than fossil fuels and gas.
I just wonder if the political wind has changed direction and whether there is less public appetite for pushing towards net zero than there was maybe before the cost of living crisis, whether you're going to struggle to convince people.
No, this is about getting people's energy bills down to help them the cost of living crisis.
But you're still committed to net zero, aren't you, where some other parties are saying that we need to scale that ambition back?
Well, Nigel Farage comes on programmes like the BBC's programmes, and he says he's got this, it's all to do with high energy bills and it's all renewables. He comes up with the problems. He never has a solution, and he won't admit, will he, that it's gas prices that are causing the problem. They cause the problems in your heating bills, they cause the problem in the electricity bills. And why are those gas prices high? Because Britain is more dependent than many countries on gas. And guess who's putting the gas prices up? Vladimir Putin, the world leader Nigel Farage admires the most. I'm afraid I'm not going to take lessons on how we get energy bills down from Nigel Farage. He has no idea, he has no solutions. What Liberal Democrats are coming up with is practical solutions to help get people off this high cost of gas onto the cheaper solar and wind, and to do that soon, to start getting people's bills down, but have a plan to halve energy bills. We have to do this, by the way, if we're going to not just tackle the cost of living, but get our economy growing again. And I think it's incumbent on all politicians to come forward with practical ideas like the Liberal Democrats are doing to get people's energy bills down.
It's interesting that you're the one who brought up the name Nigel Farage and talked specifically about reform. It's a sign of the times, isn't it, that you clearly see them as a as a real threat politically, however different you might like to think you are.
I'm really worried about what he could do to our country, because he comes up with all the problems and says it's all everyone else's fault. He has no solutions, and I think he needs to be exposed. And I have to say the BBC are not doing a very good job of doing that. You know, you have him on, he gets away with all these arguments without being properly held to account. That's why I'm bringing him up today. I think the BBC needs to do a better job, needs to hold Nigel Farage to account. And if I have to come on your programme to do that, I'll do just that.
Well, I think, speaking for this programme, when we've spoken to him, we've certainly challenged anything he said, as we would challenge all of you.
I'm sorry.
I would have thought as a...
I don't think you're doing... I'm sorry.
I thought
I love
as
the
a
BBC.
Democrat,
I love the BBC.
As a Liberal Democrat, I thought you would be interested in the media covering all voices in politics.
Yeah, but you know what happens? I'm sorry, John. You cover the tittle-tattle around reform. The tittle-tattle. You don't look at their policies. And if people are going to vote for them, they need to know what they stand for. And I'm afraid, if you look at their policies, there's not a lot there.
I think last time Nigel Farage was on, we put to him exactly that fact, that it was all very well criticising others from the sidelines, and we were putting exactly to him that he needed to come up with or tell us what his own policies were. Exactly that point.
Well, maybe you're the exception to the BBC rule, but I have to say, when I look at the broad BBC coverage, you know, he gets such an easy ride, and he gets covered when he says horrible things that aren't producing solutions for people's problems, like the cost of living, like we're trying to solve. He doesn't talk about the problems in the NHS. He doesn't deal with the need to sort out care. You know, he has the problems that my constituents face every day. Liberal Democrats are producing solutions for them. Nigel Farage doesn't, and maybe BBC Breakfast is the exception, but I have to say the BBC's got to raise its game to expose Nigel Farage.
Davey, we have to leave it there. An interesting discussion. Thank you very much indeed for your time.
Thank you.